Hello everyone, this is Reena S. Kumar and I welcome you all in our English class. So today in our English class, we are going to study a very interesting poem which is a story and which teaches us a very important lesson in our life. So the name of the poem is A Legend of the Northland, which is written by Phoebe Cary, who was an American poetess. So first of all children, I will give you the central idea of the poem and then the introduction. So the poem is a folk tale passed down from one generation to another. Tale means story, which teaches us not to be selfish. It is meant to be read by small children. It is based in Northland, which is a very cold place where once Saint Peter came to the door of a little woman who was baking cakes and asked her for a cake, as he was feeling very weak due to a fast. She was selfish and did not even give him a small piece. Saint Peter cursed her and told her that she was not fit to live in human form and enjoy food and warmth. So he turned her into a woodpecker who has to bear a hole in hard and dry wood to get its scant food. The woman was punished for her greed and selfishness. This was a central idea of the poem, and now we'll see a small introduction to the poem. So, A Legend of Northland is a ballad. First of all, children, you should know what is a ballad. So, today I'm going to tell you about ballad. A ballad is a poem narrating a story in short stanzas. Ballad is such kind of poem which tells a story in short stanzas, and in the poem all the stanzas comprise of 4 lines. In total there are 16 stanzas in this poem, and these stanzas will tell us a story. Ballads are a part of folk culture or popular culture and are passed on orally from one generation to the next. Folk culture is a story of any area and is known as ballad. Folk culture comprises of traditional stories which are passed on from one generation to the next generation. Now the story is of the Northland area, the area which is near the North Pole. This exact place is not specified, but the Northland means the area in the northernmost part of the earth, that is near the North Pole. And legend means a historical story, one which is very old and has been passed on from generation to generation. Now we'll see the poem stanza wise. So first we'll see the first 2 stanzas. Away in the Northland, where the hours of the day are few and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through, where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows, and the children look like bears' cubs in their funny furry clothes. So here in the first stanza, some new words are given. Legend means old traditional story. Away means very far away. Harness means tie, to tie something. And reindeer means animal which lives in the north side. And sledges means carriage which is drawn by animals, especially reindeers, on the snow. And furry means made of fur. So here in these 2 stanzas, the poet wants to tell us that the poet introduces the place from which her story is derived, which is the Northland, where the days are short and nights are long in the winter season. It is so cold in that season that people cannot sleep comfortably the whole night and often wake up, as the nights are very long. They are also not able to sleep the entire night. When the snow falls, people like to go sledging by tying reindeers to the sledges to pull them. Because of the cold, children wear heavy woolen and fur clothes that covers them up fully and make them look like bear cubs. So the children over there look like the babies of the bear. Now we'll see stanza number 3 and 4. They tell them a curious story. I don't believe 'tis true, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. Once, when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below and walked about it preaching, just as he did, you know. So, the new words in this stanza are curious. Curious means strange. Tis means the short form of it is. Tale means story. And Saint Peter was an apostle of Christ. And preaching means giving sermons to the people. So, in these two stanzas, the poetess tells us that parents in the Northland tell their children a story. Although the poet does not think the story is true, it should be told. Nonetheless, because it teaches children an important lesson. Then the poet begins to tell the story. The story is about Saint Peter as he traveled around the world preaching the word of God. Now, stanza number 5 and 6. He came to the door of a cottage in travelling round the earth, where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. And being faint with fasting, for the day was almost done, he asked her from a store of cakes to give him a single one. So, in these two stanzas, the new words are cottage. Cottage means small house. Hearth means fireplace. And being faint means feeling like fainting. Store means what she's already having. And single one means one is emphasized for showing that is a small amount. So here, Saint Peter came to a woman's house in the Northland just when she was baking cakes in her fireplace for herself. Saint Peter's body was pale and tired at the end of a long day during which he had been fasting. To sustain himself, he asked the woman to give him only one of the many cakes that she was baking. Now we'll see stanza number 7 and 8. So she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. Therefore, she needed another and still a smaller one, but it looked when she turned it over as large as the first had done. Now, in these two stanzas, baking lay means was being baked. Kneaded means molded the dough, आटे को गूंदना. Turned it over means reversed while baking, palatna. So the woman baked a very small cake, but before she could give it to Saint Peter, she started thinking that it was too big to just be given away like that. So the woman went on to make an even smaller cake for him, but this also looked as big as the first one to her. Stanza number 9 and 10. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it flat and baked it thin as a wafer, but she couldn't part with that. For she said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself are yet too large to give away, so she put them on the shelf. Here tiny scrap means very small piece. Dough means the mixture of the cake. And rolled means rolled is repeated to show that it was rolled very, very thin. Wafer means thin slice. And shelf means place of storage. So in a third attempt to make a cake so small that she wouldn't mind giving it away, she did not want to give the saint the cake. So she took an extremely small lump of dough, a very small piece. And when she rolled out the dough, her cake was as flat as thin as a wafer. Like a wafer, it was so thin. However, she couldn't even bear to give that small cake away. The woman said that the cakes that seemed small when she herself ate them were all too big to be donated for free. As a result, she ended up keeping all the cakes on the shelf and not giving any to Saint Peter. Stanza number 11 and 12. Then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. And he said, "You are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm." Here, provoke means irritate or anger. Selfish means greedy. And dwell means to live. So here the woman was very greedy and not willing to give a small cake to the saint. So this angered Saint Peter because he was hungry and weak and needed some food. It is not easy to anger a saint, but the selfish woman had been able to do so. So Saint Peter put a curse on the selfish woman, telling her she did not deserve to have such comforts of human life like a warm fire, a house to live in, and good food to eat whenever she wanted. Stanza number 13 and 14. Now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food by boring and boring and boring all day in the hard dry wood. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. So here boring means making holes in tree trunks with a beak to find food like insects. And woodpecker is a kind of bird. You must have seen this bird. It bores in the tree trunks to find its food. Chimney means shaft to draw with the smoke from a fireplace. I hope you must have seen the chimney. And woodpecker is a kind of a bird with a reddish crown on the head which bores trees for food. So Saint Peter cursed the woman. Why? Because he became angry because she was not giving him food. So he cursed the woman that she would have to build her own nest like birds do and must dig holes into hard dry wood to get food to feed herself. The woman went up the chimney of her house being speechless and had turned into a woodpecker. Now what happened? This selfish woman was turned into a woodpecker bird because of the curse of Saint Peter. This woodpecker could be seen flying out of the top of the chimney. Stanza number 15 and 16. She had a scarlet cap on her head, and that was left the same. But all the rest of her clothes were burned, black as a coal in the flame. And every country schoolboy has seen her in the wood, where she lives in the trees till this very day, boring and boring for food. Now scarlet means bright red color. Black as coal means jet black. And wood means here forest. And boring for food means making holes in tree trunks with a beak for finding food. So as the woman had been wearing a red cap in human form, as a woodpecker, her head was still the same shade of red in color. However, all the clothes she had been wearing seemed to have been burnt and had become black, and that is what the color of the woodpecker's body was. The poet says that every schoolboy living in that village had seen this woodpecker bird, and that she still digs into the bark of trees looking for worms and insects to feed on. So children, this was your poem. I hope you must have understood. So the main idea of writing the legend of the Northland is to instill in the minds of the children the value of kindness, generosity and charity, irrespective of who the person is. Otherwise, one would have to face the consequences. Thank you.